Welcome everyone. How are we doing? A lot of you were just a part of youth ministry or helping out. And one, as a part of youth ministry, I want to say to all of you, thank you. If you serve in some capacity with junior high or high school or even 56, thank you very much. And then also, thank you so much for being here tonight to be a part of this. You guys know why you're here. Let me first introduce myself. If you don't know who I am, Brad Sommerfeld. I have the honor and privilege of being the director of junior high ministries. And if we've never really met, I'd like to meet you and talk to you a little bit. That'd be great. So, who has done Color Wars before? Like helped volunteer? Who's been a part of Color Wars as a student? Yeah, so quite a few. So you guys are well aware of what Color Wars is. You know how great of just an event that Color Wars is. So I kind of want to share some things with you coming up on the screen. We'll get there. Yes. So the very first year that we did it, 2014, we had 120 students and we had 2 guests. In 2015, we had 191 students with 80 guests, which is awesome. 2016 skyrocketed to 310, 152 guests, and 25 salvations. And then last year, 290 students, with over 200 of those students being from somewhere outside of the chapel. Either they went to another church or they didn't go to church at all. So as you can see, this ministry that we do goes beyond Bible Chapel. It goes beyond what we can do here, and it's only possible through you guys and through what you do here. And so Color Wars, just to reiterate, because you guys have done this before, what it is 3 things. We share Jesus. Most importantly, there's 3 things, but really at the end of the day, if we share Jesus, and that's all we do, then I'm okay with that. I want you to understand that the reason why we're serving and the reason why we spend so much money and so much time is for sharing the word of Jesus Christ to kids that are hurting, kids that don't know who Jesus is, and the freedom and salvation that is there. So then also, we're here to throw paint, obviously. That's a big one. And then the last one is follow up well. We want to follow up. We're going to give the kids an opportunity to make a decision at the end of the message. And we want to make sure that we follow up with them very well. And so for some of you, if you have a good relationship with them, we may ask you to follow up with them if we know who they are. Okay? Carl, what's my next slide? Oh, yes. The Color Wars volunteer team is an army of people who welcome, serve, and champion each student. We could not and definitely would not do this without you. There's no way we could. And so, skipping to, if you could, Gar, the 5 ways. Go to that for me, please. 5 ways. Well, there's 4. 4 ways to be 4 ways to be an awesome leader, okay? Very simple. Be welcoming always, be mindful, be present, and be excited. If we do those 4 things, you guys are going to do an amazing job. And I also want to remind you that you're there for the students, not for anything else but the students. Okay? So that's kind of a couple quick things. I'd like to pray for us. God, you are so good. And we thank you for the fact that we get to throw paint at kids. We get to do this ministry and this event. What an amazing opportunity, God. And Lord, I pray as we go into this preparation and this training that we can take something out of it, God, that we can make this the best Color Wars that we've ever had, God, that you just prepare our hearts for these hundreds of kids that are getting ready to come, God, that you start preparing their hearts now for the gospel and for your truth and your love and that freedom that you give. Thank you for these leaders and devoting their time to be here. Pray this in Jesus' name. Amen. All right, so everyone got one of these. Inside this packet is a bunch of different information. If you would, please don't flip ahead. Let's stay on the front page. You'll have a chance in a little bit to flip ahead to go through that. But we're just going to kind of go through the event schedule very briefly. Okay, so from 3:30 to 6:30, we're going to have check-in for students and volunteers. You're going to find out when you need to be here during, we're going to break off into our groups of what you're going to be doing, serving. So if you're a leader or in registration or one of our game leaders, you'll know when you need to be here because you're going to split up into those groups, okay? And then food trucks from 3:30. Well, for you guys, 3:30 to 6:30. Students at 4 o'clock can start getting the food trucks. We have now 8 food trucks, double, I think, of what we had last year, which is really amazing. And so during this time, it's going to be a hangout time, okay? We want you guys to hang out with the students. We want you to talk to them, so not hanging out with each other, but with the students, right? It's about the students. I'm going to remind you guys a lot. It's about the students. From then, at 5:40 to 5:55, we are going to go into the worship center. Okay, so we are, this year, everything's going to be outside except for going in the worship center. Okay, that's a small change that we're doing. And so we're going to send them in, and you're going to meet into your teams. There's 20 different teams. And you'll find out which team you're going to, right, when they check in at registration. They'll find out where they're going. And then they're going to go into the worship center, and you'll see these poles that have their color. Okay, they will go to the pole with their color, and then they will turn in all of their belongings in a bag, and then they're also going to fill out this Connect card. This is the way when they make a decision if they're going to follow Jesus for the first time or recommit their lives to Him, we know, and then we can follow up with them. And then after that, from 5:55 to 6:10, we're going to do a 5-minute countdown. We're going to do welcome and announcements, and then we're going to do a promo video that shows all of the different areas of the Bible Chapel. So not just the South Hills, but Washington, Rostrade, Robinson, all of them, so that they have an opportunity to get involved any way that they want to. And then from there, something we're doing a little different. We're doing, from 6:10 to 6:20, we're doing 2 worship songs. They're going to be high energy. Emma Dolan is going to be leading that worship. We're so excited that she's doing that. And she's really excited too. And then after that, we're going to have our gospel presentation. We're going to have Jay Thompson. If you don't know who he is the newest member of our student ministry team. He is the youth pastor at Wilkinsburg. Phenomenal guy. And we're so excited for him to give the gospel message, and pray for him. If you will, start praying for him now. What he says is very clear. Then after that, we're going to go into a time of a response. A response or an altar call, if you will, if some of you know that lingo a little bit. And during that time of that response, we're going to have them fill out that card, okay, the bottom part of that Connect card if they decide to follow Jesus for the first time or anything like that. And then after that, we're going to send them to the lower lot. And actually, no, this year it's not the lower lot. In the past, we've done the lot where they put on the war paint. This year, we're sending them straight out to the field, okay? They're going straight out to the field. And so if you would, flip to the back. Our very own Lorraine Shipman created this awesome picture diagram. Fantastic. Is that right? Yeah, diagram. So you'll see the field, and then this blue line is where the kids will march down. Okay, they'll come in there, and then they're going to go, the leader's going to take them straight to their game, and that's where they're going to put on their war paint this year. Okay? And so you'll see that there's 20 teams. So teams 1 through 10 play games 1 through 5. Teams 11 through 20 play games 6 through 10. So 1 through 5, games 1 through 5, and games 6 through 10 are the same games. We just doubled them. That way, we have enough time for the kids to have time to play at these games. So you'll see that it goes in a circle. So if you're looking at the yellow, you'll go from 1 to 2 to 3 to 4 to 5. And so if you start at 5, you'll go from 5 to 1 to 2, 3, 4. Or if you're in the orange, you'll go from 6 to 7 to 8, 9, 10. Or, does that make sense? And you'll, just so you guys know that, but if you're one of the game coordinators or if you're one of our leaders that's going to be with the kids, we'll explain that in more detail here in a minute. So then we're going to do the fun and games from 7:05 to 8:15. After that, we're going to do from 8:15 to 8:30, just for 30 minutes, we're going to do our paint fight at the very end. Really excited for this. I've heard this is one of the coolest things that we do. I also know that it frustrates some people because, they get stuff in their eyes. And has anybody ever gotten stuff in their eyes during this? And everybody's like raise their hand. So one thing we're doing different is everybody that attends gets glasses, gets goggles. Yeah, you can use them or you don't have to. I really don't care, but it's for your benefit. The kids are getting them as well. So you'll have those and that might make it a little easier. So then the fire trucks, and then at 8:30 the students will collect their belongings up at the registration area and then they're gone. And that is how that's going to go down. Does that make sense? You'll have a chance to ask questions in your group. It just makes it a little bit easier. So if you have a question, yes?
What's the fire truck? Is that where they get decontaminated from all the stuff they get off?
Yeah, so we have 2 fire trucks that are coming to the field, and they're going to spray all the kids down.
Okay.
Yeah.
I thought that's what it was.
So yeah, the fire trucks will come, and it'll be a whole just celebration. It'll be fun. So, okay. At this time, we're going to split up. If you are a team leader, an assistant team leader, that you're going to be with Lorraine and I, and you're staying right here. Who has never done this before? Really? Okay. You've never done this before? You're, okay, so. Yeah, well then, you're in for a treat. You're in for a treat. Okay, so we're going to kind of go over this, and feel free at the very end to ask all your questions. Lorraine and I will do our best to answer them to the best of our knowledge. Hopefully we can. So, your packet. You will see in the packet, after you flip the first page, there's game descriptions. You guys don't really need to deal with that too much. It would be good to kind of go over them briefly to know what you're getting yourself into for each game. You're going to go through all 5 games, okay? And they're really great. They're really fun. And you're going to participate in them too.
Are they throwing paint on this time?
Well, you can negotiate with your team, with your kids. You should be okay. You should be okay, because there's also water involved too, which will...
I'm bringing my points there.
There you go. Bring your poncho. Okay, so we're going to focus on position description page but primarily if you flip to team leader and assistant team leader, we're going to go through this. All right, so arrive and check in at volunteer check-in table in front of Worship Center no later than 5 p.m. Okay, you need to be here by 5.